There was once a young man named Tobi. He grew up in a small town where dreams were a luxury and reality was a daily struggle. His father worked as a carpenter, his mother sold vegetables in the market, and Tobi had a dream no one understood. He wanted to become an artist, not the kind who just paints walls, but one who paints emotions. Every evening after helping his mother at the stall, he would sit under the mango tree near their old house, sketching faces of people who passed by, the tired trader, the little child crying for sweets, even the stray dogs that fought over scraps. But in his neighborhood, dreams like his were considered foolish. Tobi, his uncle would say, shaking his head, "How can you waste your time drawing nonsense? Go and learn carpentry like your father. That's what puts food on the table." And Tobi would just smile, a small, nervous smile, because deep down he did wonder if they were right. Days turned into months. He tried to sell his drawings, but nobody cared. People wanted posters, not art. They wanted names they already knew, not a boy with pencils and big dreams. One afternoon, after being rejected again at a small gallery, Tobi walked home under the rain. His sketch pad got soaked, his drawings smudged and bled. It felt like his dreams were melting right in front of him. He got home, sat quietly, and said to his mother, "Greater than Mama, maybe they're right. Maybe I'm not meant for this." His mother wiped her hands on her wrapper, walked over, and placed a palm on his head. "Tobi," she said softly, "even if no one believes in you, believe in yourself. People only clap when the music starts sounding sweet, but you must keep playing even when they cover their ears." Those words stayed with him, like an echo that refused to fade. The next morning, he woke up early, took a deep breath, and made a decision. If no one believed in him, that was fine. He would still create, not to prove them wrong, but to prove himself right. So Tobi began again. He started drawing every single day, not for money, not for attention, but because it gave him life. He'd draw at dawn before helping his father, and late into the night after everyone had gone to sleep. His hands ached, his eyes burned, but he felt something growing inside him, confidence. Still, the world didn't change overnight. When he entered local competitions, he lost. When he applied for exhibitions, he was ignored. And each rejection hurt like a new scar. But he kept going. Because sometimes, faith isn't loud. It's quiet persistence. Then came the day that changed everything. It's where Tobi faces a painful humiliation that almost makes him give up completely. And then life turns in a powerful way. It was a hot Saturday afternoon when the town held its annual youth exhibition, an event where talented young people could showcase their crafts. Tobi saw it as a chance, maybe his last one. He stayed up for 3 nights straight, working on a piece he called The Eyes of Hope. It was a portrait of a young girl with worn-out clothes, but her eyes were bright, full of dreams. That painting, he believed, carried his entire heart. When he brought it to the exhibition, people gathered around other stands, the dancers, the poets, even the fashion students, but almost no one stopped to look at his work. He stood by his small easel, sweating under the sun, smiling at strangers who passed him like he was invisible. Then he overheard 2 boys laughing near his stand. "This one na art?" one said. "Looks like something my little cousin drew." They burst into laughter. Tobi forced a smile, but his hands trembled. His chest felt heavy, his throat tight. All the doubts came flooding back. Every rejection, every insult, every night he spent drawing by candlelight, all of it felt foolish in that moment. He quietly packed his drawing, ready to leave, when an older man walked up to him. The man had gray hair, glasses, and a walking stick. He looked at the painting for a long time without saying a word. Finally, he said, "You painted this?" Tobi nodded, barely meeting his eyes. "Young man," the man continued, "this is not just art. This is emotion. You painted what many people feel but cannot describe." Tobi stared at him, unsure what to say. The man smiled gently. "Greater than never stop," he said. "People laughed at Van Gogh too." But he painted anyway. He reached into his bag, brought out a small card, and handed it to Tobi. It read, Professor Adewale, Art Consultant, Lagos State Museum. That night, Tobi didn't sleep. He kept looking at the card, his heart racing. Could this be real? Could someone finally see him? A few weeks later, he received a call from the same man. The professor wanted to display the Eyes of Hope in a youth gallery showcase in Lagos. Tobi couldn't believe it. He borrowed money to travel. It was his first time leaving his small town. The city lights overwhelmed him, bright, chaotic, alive. He watched people walk fast, talk fast, live fast, but he was there, with a single painting that carried his entire world. At the gallery, people stood in front of his painting longer than he expected. Some tilted their heads, others took pictures, and one woman quietly wiped her eyes. Tobi stood at a distance, too nervous to move closer, but then he saw something that made him smile, a small tag under his painting that read, Artist Tobi Adeniran, title, The Eyes of Hope. His name, finally printed, finally seen. But the real miracle came later that evening. A local newspaper covered the event and featured his painting with the headline, Unknown Artist Captures the Soul of Hope. Within weeks, Tobi started receiving calls, invitations, collaborations, and offers to teach art to children. He wasn't rich yet, he wasn't famous, but for the first time he didn't feel invisible. The people who once mocked him began to greet him with smiles. His uncle even told neighbors, That's my nephew, the artist. I always knew he'd make it. Tobi would just smile, not out of pride, but peace. He had learned the truth. You don't need everyone to believe in you. You just need you to keep believing when no one wants to. Years later, Tobi returned to his village, the boy who had once been laughed at, now a young man carrying a quiet strength. He set up his easel in the village square and began to paint. Slowly, a child appeared on the canvas, holding a small flame in the storm, surrounded by shadows that tried to snuff it out. When the villagers saw it, silence fell. Tobi spoke, Greater than I didn't return to show you my success. I came back to show you that courage lives in each of us. You don't need everyone to believe in you. You just need yourself. A young girl stepped forward, clutching her notebook. I like to draw, but I'm afraid no one will like it, she whispered. Tobi smiled. Greater than, then draw anyway. Let your spark guide you. Belief in yourself is louder than doubt, brighter than fear. The sun set, casting golden light over the painting. Tobi packed his easel and walked away, leaving more than art behind. He left a lesson. Keep your dreams alive, even when the world isn't watching, and you will inspire others to do the same. Thank you for watching. Tell us where you are watching from, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel and on notification for more inspiring motivational stories.